Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Christian Faith and Fiction. My name's Lou and today I'm going to be sharing with you my latest reading vlog where I talk about all the books that I've read recently. I've got 4 definitely Christian fiction, 1 that is fantasy. So let's take a look at how I got on. Hi, so it's the 8th of April and I'm still in the middle of a massive reading slump. I've been trying to pick up some books. I've started Solid Ground's Coffee Company by Carla Laureano, which is a contemporary romance, and also On the Edge of the Dark Sea of Darkness by Peterson, which is a middle grade fantasy book, and for some reason my copy is upside down, so it's and I also decided to pick up an old favourite, Fellowship of the Ring by Tolkien, just to see if I can if I'm reading a book that I know the story already, I might pick it up more. But yeah, I tried doing reading sprints the other day, and that worked for one day, but then just couldn't read anything yesterday at all again. So I'm just kind of at the beginning of 3 different books, but I'm hoping that I might pick something up. I really haven't felt like reading anything since the coronavirus lockdown. Just my head cannot concentrate, and so 10 minutes is about my maximum for what I can read. So I'm going to keep persisting though, because I've got loads of books that I really want to read and more time than I have before, but actually probably not more time, because when you count in all the stuff you have to do around the house anyway, it's probably only 2 mornings a week that I am missing out on. So yeah, here's hoping I can read a bit more this week. Hi, it's the 16th of April and I am just over halfway through this book, On the Edge of the Dark Sea of Darkness. It is quite funny, it's quite quirky, there's kind of satire to it, it has footnotes on more information about the world type of thing, and it's always quite silly, satirical. Yeah, it's good though. It's been really enjoyable reading this one, and I'm not sure how many books are in the series, but I've got the second one. I think only the first 2 have come out in this illustrated edition so far, so I'll hopefully pick up the other ones as they come out. With Fellowship of the Ring, I'm about that far through. I've forgotten how much there was in the beginning of the book, which they didn't include in the films, so we're not out of the Shire yet, so it's it goes on for quite a while. Not that it's slow, but there's still quite a lot that happens in it that they missed out. It's probably been about 10 years, maybe more than that I've read these ones, and I know the story pretty well, so that was why I picked it up. But I'm still enjoying it again. I don't know whether what the distinction is between a Christian fantasy novel and a fantasy novel by a Christian author. I think that's what this one would be. There's definitely themes in there that match with the Christian faith, so I think it kind of comes through, his faith comes through, even though I don't think it was his intention to write like a parable or anything. So yeah, I'm enjoying that one too. Hi everyone, so it's the Sunday the 26th of April and I've just finished our online worship service with our church. We're meeting on Facebook Live. If you are meeting online and your church is kind of in isolation as well. Let me know how you're getting on in the comments. This week in my reading, I finished a book. Wow. So I finished this one. It was good fun. I'm still not entirely sure what age it's supposed to be for. The comedy elements would be definitely suitable for younger age group, but there is some violence in here, and kind of sword fighting type of violence, and it is, full on. So I would say maybe 12 plus for that side. I don't have kids, so it's difficult to judge. I guess it depends on the child. Maybe you want to read it first, but as an adult I read it and I really enjoyed it, so I'm going to continue with this series. And I am also got to the end of the first book in the Fellowship of the Ring. If you have never read The Lord of the Rings, shocking, each book is separated into 2 books, so I've read book 1. So yeah, I'm going to continue with these. I seem to be in a fantasy mood. Normally I switch between different genres when I'm reading, but I seem to be in a fantasy mood, and I'm going to go with that because that seems to be anything I can read at the moment. So that's where I'm at with the reading. It's the 6th of May today, and I've had a spell of reading contemporary books again. So I finished Solid Grounds Coffee Company. Most of the book I enjoyed. It's a light contemporary romance. I will just say this because I feel like I need to. One of the main characters, is really into yoga, and as a Christian, that's not something that I would endorse, not something that I would do myself. But apart from that, I thought it was a fun read. Yeah. Hey, it's the 13th of May, and the first book to arrive to my house in lockdown has come. So A Mosaic of Wings has arrived in Great Britain. Now, I looked in the back of this and it was actually printed in Great Britain by Amazon. So they are printing their books in the UK. So that is how I managed to get hold of a copy, which is fantastic. All my other pre-orders keep saying they'll be postponed and they're not sure when they're coming. So hopefully more of them will be printed in the UK, and that means I'll be able to get more of them on time. Well, that would be fantastic. But I'm very excited to get some new books. Hi, it's the 19th of May. I've finished reading The Fellowship of the Ring, which was really great. I really enjoyed getting back into that world and living through that story with them again. It's been a little while since I've read it, so there were bits of it that when I got to it, I suddenly remembered and thought, oh yeah, I really like this bit. So I'm going to continue with the Two Towers, but that's not my priority for this month. I want to finish another couple of books that I've already started. So I'm halfway through, or just over halfway through, an audiobook I got from the library, and I am about a third of the way through another contemporary romance. So hopefully I'll finish them by the end of May and I'll be able to talk to you about them then. Okay, see ya. On the 22nd of May, I finished listening to the audiobook of Tidewater by Colleen Coble. This is a romantic suspense novel that follows a character called Libby, who finds out that she has a brother and sister she's never heard about, and her father has left her Tidewater Inn. Her business partner wants to show her sister before she goes to meet her, so she waits for her underneath a beach cam. But while Libby's watching the beach cam, she sees her business partner being taken and kidnapped, and she's the only one who sees it, and unfortunately the video evidence gets destroyed. So she has to go to Tidewater Inn to find out what happened to her business partner. I really enjoyed the book. I thought it was good. I gave it 4 out of 5. I liked listening to the narrator, so I think I'll probably continue with the series as my library's still got the other 2 books from that series in audiobook. Hopefully they'll be good too. Hi everyone, so it's the 27th of May and I've finished reading the Fifth Avenue Story Society by Rachel Hauck, and I really love this book. This is probably one of my favourite contemporary Christian fiction books. I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 stars. This is kind of billed as 5 New Yorkers receive an anonymous invitation to a story society that takes place in a library on Fifth Avenue in New York, obviously. And yeah, that's kind of how it's billed. But that's kind of more of the framework of the story. The story is really about the 5 main characters, and you see from each of their viewpoints they've all got their own kind of stories that are separate to start with but start to cross over a bit more as you get further into the book. Each of these characters has got secrets in their past or things they don't want to talk about, things that they've done, bad decisions that they've made, things, lots of different reasons why they've come to this place where their lives are kind of in not exactly crisis but in not such a good place. And the story is really about finding out what's happened to them to get them to that place and what they need to do to kind of put it right going forward. So there's a lot of different things going on. There's romance threads going through it, but there's also other stuff going on in their careers and family lives, and as I said, things that have happened in the past. So this is a type of contemporary romance that I really like, one where there's much more going on than just a romantic plot thread. It got quite emotional towards the end and a bit kind of deeper into the stories as you find out what's been going on in their lives. But I really enjoyed having those 5 different characters and how like Rachel managed to weave all the different stories in together. That was really good. Yeah, I give it 5 out of 5 stars. So those are the books that I've read recently. Let me know if you've read any of them and what you thought of them. Now that lockdown has slightly eased in terms of books, we are getting a whole load of books coming through that I pre-ordered in January, and they're now kind of appearing on my doorstep. It feels like every day. So I've got loads of books to read. Hopefully I'm going to continue out of my reading slump and continue reading some more books. So I'll see you next time, and until then, bye.